Nikola Motors shares dropped over 15% today. Down over $7 a share, they closed in the red at $42.37, representing over a 15% decline in one single day. And this massive decline in share price comes directly after shares saw a massive increase the day before, where they peaked up over 51% yesterday. So Nikola Motors has been an extremely volatile stock, and all of this big share movement comes after they announced a new deal with General Motors, one of the most large and well-established car manufacturers in the world, that General Motors is now taking an 11% stake in the electric vehicle manufacturer. So this is huge news for both companies, and in this video we're going to go over this announcement, take a look at the actual deal and what it entails for each company, take a look at some price targets for Nikola, and just go over a quick examination of their financial statements. So Nikola is a very young EV company. They have a very volatile stock. Over the past 12 months, you can see here, the shares before they had a reverse merger, you can see shares were being traded around $11 to $13. Then at one point, shares surged, seeing an increase of over 500%, which is absolutely incredible to happen within a matter of months. Then from that peak, where it was around $93 a share, we saw rapid declines in share price where they lost close to 64% in value. And then over the past couple months, we've seen some ups and downs as well, but these past 5 days have been incredible. Shares reached a 51% gain in one single day at one point, before a slight sell-off to end the day up over 40%. Then today we saw this rapid decline in the red of over 15%, which is absolutely incredible and a wild roller coaster for people who hold this company in their portfolios. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. As you know, I'm the Gen Z investor, and every single day we talk about different stocks you can buy, overall stock market performance, and any other big stock market news and headlines. So please like and subscribe, and we're going to get right into this deal between Nikola and General Motors. So GM is getting a $2 billion stake in Nikola, and they have the right to nominate one board member into the company. And if we take a look, if you were really unaware what Nikola does, they're creating electric vehicles, and they're also creating hydrogen fuel cell technology vehicles. So a hydrogen fuel cell technology vehicle combines hydrogen stored in a tank with oxygen from air to produce electricity with water vapors as the byproduct. So this technology has actually been around for a long period of time. It's been around for decades, but there's only being really used in machines such as forklifts. They haven't really been mainstream and actually put into vehicles yet due to the cost and a couple other technology, aspects holding them back just yet. But Nikola is trying to do that, and they actually have plans to roll out their Class 8 electric vehicle in 2021, followed by the 2 Class 8 fuel cell electric semis in 2023. And they actually have rules and they actually have goals to set out this pickup truck, the Nikola Badger, by year-end 2022. So if we take a look at Nikola's website, they actually talk about this strategic partnership, and they put it front and center at the top of the website because this is big news not only for the company, but as well as GM. So General Motors is receiving an 11% ownership in Nikola and has the right to nominate one director. They believe, of course, this is a great opportunity for both companies to expand. Nikola to receive, of course, all the experience, knowledge, and operational excellence that GM has. And of course, this gives GM the ability to expand into the more electric vehicle market and broaden their EV space. And if we talk about this deal, so General Motors is to receive $2 billion in equity in Nikola, which represents around 11% value, in exchange for certain in-kind contributions. So this isn't just a straight cash deal. General Motors is agreeing to do other options instead of just paying straight cash for 11% of the company. So General Motors is actually planning to engineer, validate, and build the Nikola Badger, which of course is the pickup truck, for both the battery electric vehicle and the fuel cell electric vehicle as part of this in-kind deal. And Nikola also is anticipating that they will save over $4 billion in battery and powertrain costs over 10 years and over $1 billion in engineering and validation costs. So for them giving up $2 billion worth of equity right now, of course, giving up equity isn't always great, but for young companies like Nikola, this is really what they have to do to generate some cash or actually expand the business. So of course, this deal, they give up 11%, but they are not really getting a cash deal for that. They're getting all of GM's expertise, and GM's actually going to engineer and build the Nikola Badger for this company. So General Motors expects to receive in excess of $4 billion of benefits between the equity value of the shares and contract manufacturing of the Badger, supply contracts for batteries and fuel cells, and EV credits retained over the life of the contract. And one very important factor right here is that if Nikola is able to expand outside of the United States and outside of North America, General Motors is actually going to be the exclusive supplier of fuel cells globally, so outside of Europe, to Nikola for Class 7 and 8 trucks, providing validation and scale in a multi-billion-dollar total addressable market. And the Badger, so the pickup truck, is anticipated to enter production by year-end 2022. So a lot of stuff in this deal, but essentially GM is going to help manufacture and produce this Nikola Badger in both the EV model and the fuel cell model. And in return for this contribution to the company, as well as many other things, they are receiving a $2 billion equity stake, which represents an 11% ownership of Nikola. So this was huge news for Nikola investors. So people who were holding before this saw that rapid increase of 41% because GM is one of the most known, well-established car manufacturers in the world. It was big news to have them come in and actually help them with the production aspect, which of course was causing them some issues. So now we talked about this big headline. This was huge news for both companies. I believe Nikola before this was actually one of the EV companies that I didn't believe was going to make it. I still don't believe in them truthfully long term. I personally do not own any of these EV companies, but they are very interesting and I do have them on my watch list. Nikola for me isn't one I can invest in right now because if we take a look at their financial statements, they are not generating any revenue yet. For me personally, it is still too early. So these numbers are represented in millions. So in the past 12 months, they generated less than $1 million of total revenue. So $400,000 in total revenue in the past 4 months. So they really aren't generating anything. And if we take a look at net income, they're burning through $161 million in the past 12 months. So this isn't really anything too surprising from companies like this. But for me, a person who favors strong, stable, dividend blue chip companies, Nikola is not one for my portfolio. But if we take a look at what some analysts are expecting for price targets, we have some mixed feelings. So as of right now, the price target is set at a hold, and they actually represent a 28 upside from their current share price. Share price target for Nikola over the past 30 days sits around that $54 to $56 range over the next 12 months. Currently being traded around $42 a share, represents around a 28% upside from its current share price. A second analyst report represents a similar aspect, a moderate buy, 2 buys, 3 holds, with again a 28.63% upside and a price target around $54.50. And if we take a look at a third different analyst from CNN, you can see here they actually have a price target around $49 a share over the next 12 months, which represents a 14% upside from its current share price. So very interesting where we have a couple different price targets, all showing significant upside. We have a price target around 49, in that range from $49 to $54 a share over the next 12 months. So this company has been extremely volatile. Even a quick overview you can see here of their chart. You see a rapid increase, rapid decline, rapid increase, rapid decline. So very volatile stock. If you are an analyst and if you actually believe in this company long term, if you want to hold something a little bit more speculative and you're kind of bullish on the EV sector and believe Nikola is one of the companies that is going to actually expand, start to distribute vehicles over the next 2 to 3 years, start generating some revenue year over year, then this is a time where you may want to take a look. Of course, it's been on a massive run up. Of course that we saw this huge incline, but we have actually seen a massive sell-off since that point. If we take a look at from right here at $35 a share before the 51% growth, all the way to where it sits today, shares are only up 19%. So in a matter of 2 days, a 19% increase is crazy. But if we take a look as a whole of this big picture where we saw a 51% growth, followed by a massive decline of over 21% from that high peak, this may be an attractive point because if you are believing the company, and you really think this is one that's going to achieve big things, although they're being traded at a $16 billion market cap with generally having zero revenue, then you may want to take a look at it right now. Who knows? Over the next week, these companies are so volatile that we could see a massive surge, we could see a massive decline. It'll be very interesting. This is a company where you just like to follow along, enjoy the ride, and just take a look at it. Take a look at their stock price every once in a while. If we take a quick peek at their balance sheet, you can see here their balance sheet isn't too bad. Pretty typical of a young company. $772 million of total current assets. If you take a look at their liabilities, only $30 million. So very strong balance sheet with regard to their current ratio. $772 million of total current assets compared to $30 million of total current liabilities. Nothing too worrying just there. If you take a look, total assets of $925 million compared to total liabilities of only $43 million. So once again, way more assets than liabilities. They can deal with these liabilities very easily. I do believe this company's balance sheet is in a strong financial position as of right now, and very interested to see how they can continue to operate over the long term. Very interesting company. If you're bullish on the EV sector, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.